I'm kind of stalling a little bit because I want a few people to come on and catch the live if they can. If not, they can catch the replay. But do me a favor and let me know where you're from in the comments, whether you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're catching this. Let me know. Reach out and say hello. Again, my name is Robert Ferguson. I am a nutritionist, fitness guy, weight loss guy. I've been dubbed America's fat loss coach. I've worked with a lot of celebrities, a lot of pro athletes, a lot of regular everyday people. Researcher, been at it for a long time. Writing a new book. Actually, I'm writing 2 books. I have a short one that I'm going to be giving away free. And that one's called, well, I'm not going to say the name, but you will like it. It'll be free. So hopefully in about 30 days, a little past that, I'll be making this available. You'll be able to get it directly from me or any of our coaches, any of our nutrition and weight loss coaches who are trained on the Diet for Your Life methodology. You can get it from them, their websites, my website, all of that stuff. Before I kind of share with you information about this Carb Threshold Index, I'm just going to give you a little bit of insight into it because it's a game changer for a lot of people. So I'm going to share some with you. But next week on Tuesday, I will be doing or offering a free webinar where I will go into great detail. That webinar will go anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and it'll be available. You can share with other people. But you're going to learn a lot about why some people, a lot of people actually, aren't able to lose the weight. And if they knew a couple of things, which you will learn in this free webinar, then it can make their life that much easier. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that. I am also going to be launching a new group of women over the age of 40 that are ready to end the struggle. That's going to start next week, and you can start anytime next week. It could be on the 1st of the month. It could be on the 2nd, 3rd, etc. But there's something exciting about starting Monday. Okay. And it's a new month. It's a 31-day month. It's going to be an awesome month. Okay. There's a lot of things to celebrate during the month of March, and I am asking you to celebrate you. So if you're interested in that, today or tomorrow. So today is Friday, February 26th, February 27th, Saturday. And I would say the latest on Sunday. If you reach out to me, we can get you set up so you can do your grocery shopping on Saturday or Sunday, be totally prepared. And on Monday, begin the process to a new you. So do not put that off. Do not put it off. Seriously, because what I've seen and witnessed over the last 30 days with some people, it's I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I'm very proud of those that I'm working with. And I've been coaching all of these people. And so if you come in today or tomorrow, then I'll be coaching you also. So just reach out to me if you got questions about anything, what it is, how it works. Send an email. That's the best way to do it. And then we will get you the information you need to help you make a decision on if it's going to make sense for you. Okay. So are you guys ready for me to kind of share with you a little bit about this Carb Threshold Index? All right. So I'm going to do my best not to go too long, not to ramble, but there's a few things for you to get the value and importance of it. That if I share, it'll make everything clearer, you know? So I want to share with you what we learned about cows in the 50s. And then I'm going to use what we learned about cows and show you how it pertains to us. Okay. So we learn for many, many years that the bigger the cow, or at least the industry gets that, the more money they can make. So when antibiotics was introduced as a result of penicillin, and antibiotics have done amazing things, saved a lot of people. You know, when antibiotics were first introduced, I think in the next 10 years, a life expectancy increased like 8 years. And then we had all those baby boomers around at the same time. And if it wasn't for antibiotics, a lot of people would be dead. Well, at the same time as they were using antibiotics to get people healthier, they were using it to help out animals, right? So they're growing cows and chickens, give them antibiotics to keep them alive. And then they noticed that the ones that they were giving antibiotics to, they were bigger, like large. So it became the thing. If you want to grow a big calf, into a huge cow, hey, use those antibiotics. And they were using them. And then rules started to come in. And I'm not going to go into all the details around that, but it became clear that we got to figure out how we can get these cows to be as big as possible. Well, they monitor these cows, right? So if you took 100 calves and they all weigh, let's say the same, all right, they're all born, you got 100 of them. They're feeding them the same breakup or macronutrient profile, proteins, carbohydrates, fats. They're feeding them the same ratio. And they're weighing these cows, okay, to see if they're growing. They're checking it off because there's money involved here. We want to get a big, happy cow. Well, let's say that 99 of the 100 cows weight goes up from this week to the next week, but one cow doesn't go up. Well, they know this. And at that point, that cow has tapped into his protein threshold. So what does that mean? See, you have metabolism encompasses a lot of things. There's a protein metabolism. There's a carbohydrate metabolism. There's a fat metabolism, and basically different roads. So when I say metabolism, let's say it's different roads going different directions, different experiences. Well, that's what happens when you eat carbs. That's what happens when you eat protein. That's what happens when you eat fat. They're metabolized totally different, complete unique process. Well, when a cow doesn't gain weight and all the other cows do, what they do is they go to that cow and they bring his protein down and they increase his carbohydrate intake up. See, 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrates is 4 calories. It's even scale. So if I bring the protein down 1 gram, then all I got to do to keep the calories the same is increase the carbs 1 gram. If I bring the protein down 5 grams, I increase the carbs 5 grams. Then the next week when they do this, then that cow, like all the other 99, their weight is still going up. Now, eventually, each one of those cows will for the most part, won't grow at the same rate. And so when that happens, they do the same thing. Bring the protein down and increase the carbs. And so, but the calories are all staying the same. Everything's managed the same. There's just the cow that didn't gain any weight. They just say, all right, let's give him a little bit more carbs, bring the protein down, everything else the same. And then that cow starts to grow. It all depends on their protein threshold. So knowing that, understanding that, we have a carbohydrate threshold. See, a cow has a protein threshold because the goal is to gain weight. We're not wanting to gain weight. So we don't have we don't look at the protein threshold. And that's why none of the studies that I'm going to reveal in this webinar, protein had like nothing to do with anything. The protein was constant. The ratios that they played with, and what I'm going to share with you in this webinar, was a ratio between carbohydrates and fat. Now, we also know that people born, let's say before 1975, they look at the problem with weight loss. Fat's a problem, right? We were the generation of no fat, low fat, 1% fat, 2% fat, reduced fat. Like fat is the animal. That's the devil. Whereas the new generation, they're like, hey, fat's not the problem. They're eating MCT oil and extra virgin olive oil and avocados. And you mean I didn't have an avocado until I was a grown up. Didn't even see one until then. Well, they look at carbs as the bad guy. The reality is it all depends. And that's where the carb threshold index is, because that's what we want to know. Same as with the cows. Because with people, we want to get smaller. And so each one of us has a unique carb threshold. Okay, here's my point. Some people, and you know them, some people can eat carbs and fall asleep and wake up 1 pound lighter the next day. Other people look at carbs and they feel like they're gaining weight. We're unique. We're different. So in 2011, when I tapped into this, that's when I began learning and researching on the microbiome, because it was really hot as far as gut bacteria. There's a connection there, and there's a connection with antibiotics. There's a connection. But during this time, I'm doing that, and I'm also realizing that some people have a lower or higher threshold. So when I peeled back, I was like, okay, if I can come up with a way to figure this out, then this could help a lot of people. So for 5 years, we kind of figured it out, but it was really tedious. I needed something really easy. So then we get to this place where we are now. And when I work with people and our coaches work with people, we can tell you within seconds what your carb threshold index is. And once we know that, then we can customize your nutrition in a way that's going to work for you. Because here's the best news of all. Everyone can increase their carb threshold index. And when you increase the index, that means your body fat's down, your waist is down, everything's better. You, as an athlete, you perform better. Like, everything is better as that number goes up. And so we can do that quickly. And then you remove all guesswork, because what works for one person doesn't work for another person. Think about the people who have done keto. There are people who are going to catch this talk right here that can comment and confirm what I'm saying. They did keto where they're not hardly eating any carbs, and they still did not lose weight. Some people do keto and they drop all kind of weight. Everybody's different. But the one thing that we know for sure is that everyone has a unique carb threshold index. And we have a proprietary formula where we take in data, and our algorithm tells you exactly what your carb threshold index is. And then we work from there. So in the last 30 days, I have watched some people struggle with weight, can't lose weight, trying all kind of stuff, dealing with bloating and inflammation, and applying this, what I'm sharing with you, unbelievable. I was on the phone with a client this morning. In like 3.5 weeks, her waist is down 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. And she's not over 200 pounds. What is that? I'm telling you, we have something, and it's powerful and it's unique. And I'm going to share the details of it in that webinar. So if you want to catch that webinar, all you got to do is sign up for our free newsletter. Just go to dietfreelife.com. You can email me, Robert, and say, hey, can you let me know more about that? How does that work? Or, you know what? I just want to get started, and then I'll watch the webinar so I have more knowledge. This is the truth. It's the truth, because it's not avoiding food groups. It's not beating up on carbs. It's amazing. Now I'm going to share something with you, and then I'll say goodbye. That's going to blow your mind. Okay. And it's about the carb threshold index. I'm going to share with you a story. What's up there, Lori? Let's see who else is there. Andrea. Woo, what's up? What's up there, Ruth Ann? Hey, the cow theory. I mean, hey, I like my cows. When my little girl, well, she's 13 now. When she was little, her favorite animal was cows. She couldn't imagine eating a hamburger. Now she will eat a hamburger. Okay. So I want you to think about this. And I'm going to explain the details in the webinar. Okay. But this happens a lot. You have a woman who's over the age of 40. She's got those last 5 to 20 pounds she wants to lose. So whether she's lost a lot of weight or whether she just woke up and said, you know what, I got to do something about this. And I want to get rid of this 15 pounds or this 30 pounds or whatever that is. She battles, and the weight's not coming off. Now, every time I interview someone who's in this situation, this is what they tell me. Robert, I'm eating clean. Robert, I'm exercising a lot. Robert, I don't even eat carbs. And then I go, what do you mean you don't eat carbs? Well, I'm not eating, all I eat is broccoli, zucchini, spaghetti squash, maybe a yam here and there. I'm not eating pasta. I'm not eating. And I go, well, excuse me, but broccoli and zucchini and all those plant-based foods you mentioned, they are carbs. So once they hear that, they go, oh, okay. But you know what I mean. I go, yeah, I know what you mean. This is what this lady doesn't know. If we did her carb threshold index, it would give us a number. And that number goes from 0 to 100. And depending on where that number is, and I'm going to assume this woman is going to fall into a category that's going to tell us and tell her that she's not going to lose those last, 5 to 20 pounds unless she eats more carbs. What? She's not eating much. Well, think of all the people who drop their calories down, and they still aren't losing. This happens to a lot of people. So it ain't the calories. What is it? And then if they keep losing, then they don't look good. They look frail. And they probably have people walk up to them and say, "Are you okay? Are you sick?" That she needs to eat more carbs, and the right carbs, and combine the food just right. And this isn't overly scientific, you guys. This is not scientific keto. This is really simple. If you know the basics of the Diet for Your Life methodology, then you're way ahead of the game, because then it's just a matter of getting you to tweak based on your carb threshold index, getting you to tweak a few things, and then watching everything improve in the next 7 days, and the 7 days after, and the 7 days after, and the 7 days after. That's the truth. So when you know it, it can be a game changer. And then what happens is, let's say that 7 days later, we put in your data. If the carb threshold index number goes up, that says we're on the right path. Sometimes it goes down. The good news is that I'm there to see it. And then I have a plan for that also, because then the next week, we're going to see it go up. So imagine living a big part of your life. You're over 40, you're over 50, you're in your 60s, and you just could never get those last 5 to 20 pounds off. And you find out that the secret to being able to do that was to eat more of the foods you had been avoiding. Come on. Think about that. Think about it. Think about what I just shared. And it's scientific. I'm a researcher. I'm a clinician. This is real, what I'm saying. And I've helped a lot of people over the last 10 years with this. And now we got it down. We got it down. We got it down. So I'm going to give you one last story. Okay. And this is the truth. And this is one of the reasons why more and more you hear me talking about the microbiome. It's fascinating. It's like a new toy, because of all the research as far as like the brain and gut connection. Alzheimer's connected to what's going on in the microbiome, which is your gut bacteria. People learning now because of COVID where their immune system is. Over 70% of your immune system is your microbiome. Serotonin, feel good, mood enhancer, right? We connect that with tryptophan. For years, everyone said it was, secreted as a result of your brain. Well, that may be the case, but over 90% of serotonin is secreted from your microbiome, your gut. Your microbiome plays a huge role in how you burn calories, how you digest food, how you absorb the nutrients that you're consuming. It plays a huge role in your energy and mood throughout the day. It cannot be avoided. And it continues to be misunderstood. And then people fall prey to misknowledge. Well, I'm here to tell you, I don't know nowhere near what the top gastroenterologists know. But I'm lucky I know a lady named Dr. Sabine who has a book called Let's Talk Shit, who just happens to be a friend who I met 3.5 years ago. And I learned so much every time. It's a gift to have discovered her and to be able to reach out to her and gain clarity. You can watch YouTube and you can go buy books and all that, but it's so new, but she's in it. So all of that being said, I have a client who I worked with, and I hope she doesn't hear this. But if she does, it's a compliment. But this client I started working with about 8 weeks ago, she came in because I was working with someone she knew well. And so she felt like, okay, well, if it worked for my friend, then it'll work for me. So she comes in and she had done keto. She tried intermittent fasting. She hadn't had pasta, cereal, or anything like that in years. And so whenever that happens, I get a little concerned because most of those people are somewhat malnourished. And as soon as they start eating carbs, they start to retain more water. It's temporary, but the weight on the scale goes up. So her first week, her weight went down 4 pounds. 4 pounds. And she ate pasta she hadn't had in a long time. She ate a whole bunch of stuff. And then the next week, 2 weeks later, I did her numbers and her weight was the exact same. 2 weeks after that, and we're tweaking things, her weight went up a couple pounds. And she's like diligent. She's on it. She's following this like big time. And so now I'm going, okay, I know what it is. Well, the good news is that she never wanted to know her numbers. So she never knew she dropped 4 pounds. She just said, Robert, just tell me if I'm doing good or not, tweak it, and let's keep it moving. So she never knew she gained the weight back. 7 weeks into it, she's up a pound more than when I met her. But yet her clothes fit better. Her waist is smaller. Her energy is up. She's feeling great. Her massage therapist could even tell when she got a massage, it's been a while, that it's like, wow, what's going on? Because they can feel that, right? If you're a massage therapist and you're hearing this, like, let people know, you can tell when people are losing weight, when their body composition is changing. They can feel that. So she's getting those kind of compliments. People are like, hey, what are you doing? So she doesn't know. She doesn't know if she's down 10, 15, 20 pounds or the same weight plus a pound. She was up a pound. And then from the 7th to the 8th week, she's smaller. Everything's great. She drops 6 pounds in 7 days. And then she has continued to lose now. If I didn't have the Carb Threshold Index, which is like having another coach looking at, the situation or the client I'm working with, it was like second opinion. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I would have done the best. Because before the Carb Threshold Index, I helped thousands of people lose weight, but this was fascinating to me. And now everything is good. Why? Because we planted a garden. We got her microbiome more diverse, healthier, and is more efficient. So now there's no guessing. There's no like wondering, is it my hormones? What's stopping me from losing this weight? Like, why am I having a tough time? Is it my thyroid? Is it this? Is it that? Everything now is working. I want everybody to have this opportunity. I really do. So if you're thinking about working with us, if you want to work with me directly, you want to work with some of our other coaches, I can connect you with coaches, and they can help you with this. This is powerful because it's going to change the landscape. And as we take hold of it even more, it gives that person clarity on why they want to eat certain foods instead of just, oh, it's healthy. Because not all foods are healthy for all people. Some people can eat spinach and it's great as far as how it impacts and helps their microbiome. And other people eat it and it creates a disturbance, a disruption to their microbiome. Everybody's unique and everybody's different. And looking at the carbohydrate metabolism and now seeing a connection between certain microbes and compounds that flourish and optimize your carbs as a result of you eating them because those things are back in balance. Yeah, that's a game changer. I said I would end there, but I'm gonna share this because I was looking at this yesterday, and I was talking to a gastroenterologist yesterday and one this morning, and I asked them the question about bodybuilders and fitness experts who have had COVID because they found COVID in the microbiome. And I said, how did the bodybuilders, like, how did they do with COVID? And almost all of, well, the ones that they knew did really horrible. You don't hear about it. It's not like, pick out a profession, but they haven't done well. And I said, well, what's your thoughts? Well, you know how when you see someone that does meal prepping and they have like all these different foods on the table and they take a picture and they share it, meal prepping, and you look at each one of those little boxes and you see, chicken, rice, broccoli, chicken, rice, broccoli, chicken, rice, broccoli, chicken, rice, broccoli, chicken. It's like, and you go, wow, see, that's what I need. I need meal planning. That's what I need right there. Well, if you're only eating the same things all the time, it reduces the diversity in your microbiome, which means lowers your immune system. You're more susceptible to a lot of things. Now, on the outside, you look amazing because you're a bodybuilder. But on the inside, your gut bacteria is all messed up. Eat variety, people. That's a trap that gets a lot of people when they go on diets. They just eat the same thing. They become a creature of habit, and they don't have anyone pushing them. So as your coach, right? As coaches, we're pushing. We're always saying a variety of food. If you haven't had kiwi fruit in a while, eat some kiwi fruit. If you hadn't had an orange, eat an orange. If you eat oranges all the time, can you eat a banana today or tomorrow? If you haven't had strawberries, and if you live in California, what's wrong with you? Because right now, as I'm sharing this live, strawberries are in. And strawberries are great. Change it up. If you hadn't had celery with peanut butter, hey, eat some celery with peanut butter. Haven't done that since I was a kid. If you haven't had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because the last time you had one was 5 years ago. I don't know. But the goal is that you want to challenge yourself to mix it up. Doesn't mean overhaul your life. Doesn't mean you can never eat the foods that you really like to eat. You still got your staple, but let's bring in some other stuff, and it can make all the difference. All right. So that's it. That's it. What's up, Brenda? Brenda's doing great. I'm happy to be working with you. DD Miller's in the house, replying to Andrea. It's amazing. DD's killing it. I mean, DD, I think you're down like 50 pounds or something, 55, 60 pounds. DD's killing it. So very proud of you, DD. She's not just walking it out or just talking it out. She's doing all of that and then some. As Pastor Lonnie used to always say, don't talk about it, be about it. And so this is about being about it. So last call to action, go to sign up for our newsletter so you don't miss this webinar. I will be doing this on Tuesday. We don't have the time yet, but you'll get a notification. If you don't catch it live, that's fine. You will catch the replay. But I'm going to share with you some of the science behind how we came up with the Carb Threshold Index and how it works. I'll repeat some of the things that I shared because I do find it fascinating that cows or any, animal that's being grown to be sold and eaten, they tend to make more money the bigger they get. So they monitor that, and they have a protein threshold. And as they're feeding them, and they make those adjustments to get them to grow. And the opposite is that we have a carb threshold. So we do it different, the flip of that, in order to drop the weight. But you got to know where you are. You got to know where you stand. And the only way you can know your carb threshold index is through us, through either working directly with me or one of our coaches. There's no other way you can know this. This is proprietary data. We do the testing. I've had a lot of physicians do it. They love the science behind it, and it's really simple to do. So let's get you going. And again, remember, next week, beginning of the week, I would love to get a few more people to get started with us so you can rock and roll. So send an email if you want to do this. Don't be late. Let's feel great. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's it. There was a few nuggets in there. I'm a resource. I'm not here just to sell you. The webinar is free. But I just wanted to let you know that we got a couple things going on. And if you are thinking about losing weight and it's Friday, I feel like now's the time to let you know. So I wanted to jump on here and share that information before I get back to doing what I got to do. So thank you. God bless you. Be well. And I look forward to sharing with you some really good concrete information in this free webinar and working with you when it comes to you wanting to lose weight. And if you are under 40, because we have some people under 40, we have a program specifically for them. When they contact us, we would let them know what that is and how that works. All right. So have a great weekend, and I look forward to next week. It's going to be a barn baby. It's going to be a barn burner. You know what I'm saying? That's Indiana words.